Welcome back to Criticism. Now, immediately, before I say anything else about what I actually want to talk about in this episode, I want to point out some errors and things that I missed in the last episode. Because, believe it or not, for a 40-minute episode, there's a couple things that I missed. Not too many. There's also a couple of errors in that episode. Like, the first thing I want to point out is the UI, the new one. Now, one of the somewhat major points in that episode that I made with the UI is how visible it is. Technically that was a lie. Technically. Because I don't know if I was remembering the old, like, I think they had two versions of this UI. I think. Because I remember not being able to see the icons down here. Now there's I don't know if they were there before, but now there's little circles. Like there's little circles around everything now. Like it's kind of useful now. It's not bad. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. You can actually see it. You can actually see it. And that's good. I think that's a good thing. The most replayed I was right about. You can barely see that on white backgrounds. You can barely see it. I was right about that, at least for now, at the time of me recording this episode. Or maybe even me releasing it. I don't know if they'll ever fix that. But unless they do, then yeah, that's probably going to be outdated in a couple of months. But as of me recording this episode and dropping this episode, it's barely visible. Barely. Can barely see it. But I was right about I was wrong. I was wrong about the buttons down here. You can see them. You can see them perfectly fine. Another thing I forgot to point out was that watch later shit. I don't know where it is. It could be here, it could be right here, but it's also outlined. This episode's probably not a good example. I'd probably put it there. If it's there, then yeah, it's just an outline now. Why? It used to be filled in. Now it's an outline. What the fuck? However, it's not all bad. You know what else I forgot to point out? The chapters feature that they added around I believe mid-2020, I believe. It's a cool feature. It's actually kind of neat if you're watching a documentary and want to skip to a point in that documentary. I'll admit, that's a good feature. I'll admit that. Not horrible. Not a bad feature at all. I think that's cool. Is that it? I could be missing something else, but right now I'm not really thinking of anything else. I think I got most of it out of the way. I think. At least most of the major stuff. There's a couple of smaller things that I'm probably forgetting about, but right now, I'm not really remembering some of it right now. I probably got all of it. If I remember something else, I'll probably put it in a future episode in this season. I'm not even going to cap with you. Not even going to lie. Now, we are 3.5 minutes into this episode, and it's crazy because I haven't even gotten to the thing I want to talk about yet. Games. Games are probably one of the fucking greatest things on this planet. Not even joking. It's one of the few things that keeps you from, having to deal with how shit life is. This is a personal thing. I'm about to be employed soon. I'm about to have a job eventually over the next week-ish. Can't wait, pretty hype. But, eventually I'm probably going to need a break from that in some point in the future, right? And, to keep my mind off of that shit, games, of course. What the hell am I talking about? Well, there's one game that I think might help me. Whenever I'm struggling and shit, there's one game that I think might help. And I say might, but it kind of does. And the crazy thing is, it's a very obscure game that not very many people know about or have even heard of. Robotica on the Saturn. The Saturn, right? It's what the heck is that? That's a console that Sega put out back in the mid-90s. It was a competitor to the PS1, which is kind of funny because the PS1, I believe, wasn't even out yet by the time the Saturn came out. I believe this was maybe a launch title? I don't think so. It was pretty early in the Saturn's life, but not a horrible game right here. And the funny thing is, this game is notorious for being a Doom clone, which I guess it kind of is. It's a first-person shooter. It kind of looks, theme-wise, it's not even close. Like, you're playing as a mech. You're playing as a mech, a giant mech, in a space station. The story of this game is kind of interesting. This game takes place in, I think, 2877, because apparently this game tries to predict what could happen in 2077. There's a fucking space station that gets built and it like takes over the world or some shit. 800 years later, apparently, a bunch of people actually not even people, it's just robots, decide that they don't agree with the government, the space government that's in this game. And it's like, okay, let's take it down. Hence the name, Robotica. Actually, Robotica, I believe, is the name of the mech that you play as. In Europe, the game's called Daedalus, which is the name of the space station. Daedalus is the name of the space station. And the name of the government in the game is the WSSS, which I don't know what that stands for because I haven't memorized that. But it's a first-person shooter, like I said. Really fucking good. I'm actually kind of shocked at how good this game is. There's 30 levels. Takes roughly about an hour, maybe 2 hours to beat. Right? And yeah, you start off with a couple of weapons. You have Vulcan, which is your primary weapon. You've got lasers, which is your secondary and more powerful weapon. If you want to beat this game, lasers are the weapon you need to choose if you want to beat this game. But you also have more. You got missiles, which is sometimes a one-hit kill for enemies, but you kind of have to aim it because it kind of just goes wherever the heck it feels like it. And then you have the arm punch, which if you run out of ammo, that's all you'll have left is just that arm punch. You have to go up to robots and punch them. But hold on a minute, let me see something. Okay, we're good. I was checking something. It's a pretty good game. It's a pretty good damn game, not even gonna lie. Now, again, like I said, it's notorious for being a Doom clone, which is kind of funny because sure, I guess it's like Doom. I guess, sure. Yeah, it's a first-person shooter. It's space-themed, though. But I don't know if Doom has I haven't really played that much of Doom, I will admit. I've played Doom a little bit, like the first 2 levels, and that was it. But I don't remember Doom having the energy feature that Robotica has. I don't think Doom has that. Because Doom has a little bar on the bottom left side of the screen. It's basically an energy preserve. There's like little power-ups you can use. Like, you have refresh, which is basically if you're running low on health, which the game calls your shield, by the way. If you run out of... if you're getting low on health, not out, because if you're out, then you're dead, obviously. But if you're running kind of low on health, you can use the energy use button, which I believe is C or A? I don't remember what button it is. I think it's C. I could be wrong. I actually don't know what button it is, but, you know. If you press the energy use button, you can get your health back. But you can switch between the power-ups at any point. As long as you have energy, you can use it, obviously. There's another one called Plasma Barrier, Plasma Shield. I think it's called Plasma Barrier, or Plasma Shield. All it does is if you have it activated, you have to kind of hold the button a little bit. It will activate like a shield, and when an enemy is shooting at you, the bullet will make contact, but you won't take damage. It even makes the same sound as it does when you're taking damage from, like... Okay, there's a thing in the game There's red floors that sometimes spawn in the game. Sometimes they'll spawn in the game. If you hover over it a little bit, like if you walk over it, it will hurt you a little bit. That sound that you take from the red floors is the exact same sound that you hear when you dodge a bullet. It's the same sound. It throws me off every time. I never use that one. I never use it. And then there's Blaze Laser. You can also use that one. It takes up a lot of energy though. You can use it like maybe 2-3 times and that is it. Unless you find more. You can find more. It's not like once you run out, it's over. No, you can find more. It's rare though. But the Blaze Laser is basically a how do I say this? It's like a I don't really know. It just hurts enemies that are in vicinity of that little mini map that's on not the top left one, but like it's a radar for enemies that's also on the left. But yeah, there's a map on the left, right? On the top left there's a map right there that shows you where you are, and if you find there's also another thing in this game. I'm all over the place in this episode, but you know. Heck, even earlier I was like, oh, let me see something. But yeah, I was checking the freaking phone battery, by the way. I had to make sure I was good. But anyway, enough of that. Back to the game. But there's another game mechanic where if you beat one section, like I think levels 1 through 4 is like, you know, you can see perfectly fine. But once you enter level 5, the game already introduces probably the most annoying feature in the game is when you first spawn in on floor 5, it's dark as shit. What do you have to do to make the lights come back on? You gotta find a computer. I'm not even joking. And the computer is optional. You don't need to find the computer. It's not required, but it is recommended because if you don't find the computer, it is dark. It is super dark. Also, don't take too long on one single floor because there will be enemies that come out that will try to kill you. Like, they'll come out of nowhere. They'll spawn in vicinity of you. It's not like they'll spawn randomly and make their way towards you. No, they'll spawn in vicinity of where you are and come at you. It's almost unfair. Like that little radar on the bottom left, they'll spawn within that little radar and they'll come right at you. There's another thing. I'm, again, just kind of going everywhere, but you can upgrade the weapons that you have. Like your Vulcan, your lasers, missiles, arm punch, you can upgrade all of them to the maximum. I think the arm punch goes up to 9. I think the Vulcan goes up to 7. I think the laser goes up to 5, maybe 7. And the missiles probably go up to 3, maybe 5. I don't remember, but you can get upgrades to them. And it's fucked up because some enemies drop downgrades, which downgrade the current weapon you have. It's crazy. And another thing, the enemies that come at you if you take too long, if they make contact with you, you'll take damage. But you know what else will happen? If you stay in one spot too long, like if they blow up, like if they hit you and you stay in one spot too long, they will downgrade your weapon that you're currently using. It's crazy. What is that mechanic? But it is a good game because, yeah, pretty decent. I don't know how the heck I got to the freaking enemies already. I haven't even explained the energy bar yet. But yeah, the Blaze Laser takes out everyone in vicinity of the radar. There is another one. Oh yeah, the booster. The booster. There's a booster one. I don't remember the full name of it, but I think it's called Booster. I think. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. But all it is just a quicker way to get around. That's all it is. Which is kind of funny, because if you hold B, I believe, you can go faster. It's not as fast as the booster, but you can still go faster without using any energy. So it's like, hang on a second. All right, we're good. But yeah, is there another power-up that I'm forgetting? There might be. Oh yeah, there's also a power booster, which if you hold it, I believe if you hold it and then shoot a bullet, it will upgrade your weapon for that bullet only. Interesting idea, but it uses energy, so it's almost a waste. It's like, I never use it when I'm playing this game. The only 2 power-ups that I use in the game is Blaze Laser and Refresh. That's like the only two you should be using. But if you want to experiment with the other three, it's perfectly fine. Then you got the enemies themselves. And keep in mind, this whole game, this is another thing I forgot to mention. This whole game is randomly generated, by the way. The floors, the enemies, well, in the first couple of floors, like first 5 floors, the enemies aren't randomly generated. Sometimes they can be, but it's kind of rare. But once you reach level 6 to like the end of the end of the game, it's all like the enemies are randomly generated. Like what type of enemies you'll see. There's a bunch. There's like the ones that take 1 hit and they die. There's the ones that will shoot at you and then move to the left or the right. They have a couple of those, and they're all annoying. There's also an enemy that has there's 2 enemies that have 2 versions. There's the spider-looking one, like the really tall one that has like spider legs that will also shoot at you. The bullets also randomly take, well, it's not random, but the ones that stand still and die in 1 hit, I think they get rid of like 4 shield. The ones that have spider legs and move around, I think take away like 7. And then there's like red enemies that you see near the end of the game, which every bullet takes out like 9 shield. And you have 100, by the way. If you get hit by that enemy like 10 times, it's over, pretty much. That's crazy, because they shoot, the red ones that shoot bullets that take away 9 damage, shoot in like 12 different directions. It's like almost impossible. But it is a beatable game. It's pretty fucking good. But there's another enemy that will also come toward you. It's a beginner's trap if you're not prepared for it. They will come at you and explode. They don't start showing up until like the end of the second portion of levels, until you reach level 11, which is like one of the only levels in the game where the gameplay kind of changes up a little bit. It's like, I don't know. Level 11 is also a level where you're just blowing up reactor cores. You got to blow up 4 and then reach the exit. It's the only level in the game besides the final boss, which is also destroying 2 cores in the middle of the room, where the gameplay just kind of changes up. That's another thing that people don't really like about this game, is how repetitive it is. Which I'll admit, it is a pretty repetitive game, but it's not that long of a game. You can beat it in like an hour, 2 hours. But the worst thing about this game is the randomization of it. The floor layout is almost different every single time you boot up the game. In fact, not even almost. It is different every single time you boot up the game. And not just the level design, it's the freaking things they drop too. The ammo drops, the shield drops, because you can get shield back, of course. And the energy. You can find those from enemies too. But yeah, even the power-ups and the power-downs for the weapons come from them too. It's crazy. There's also a really rare one that might show up during a playthrough, where all it does is if you hover over it, it will bring back all your shield and generate all your energy back up to full. Full energy and full shield. All of it. Pretty useful, but it's extremely rare. It like shows up maybe once every 3-4 runs. I'm not even joking. It's an extremely rare power-up that barely shows up. But despite all this stuff I've been complaining about, which I kind of just realized, it's a good game. It's just, it's got very weird flaws about it. Like, very weird flaws. Like, the repetitiveness, the dark room bullshit, which forces you to find a computer. By the way, when you find a computer in like a dark section, like if you finish a whole section, or if you start, not finish, if you start a whole section, like let's say for floor 5, for example, if you find a computer, right? If you find a computer on stage 5, floor 5, it will light up that whole section of the level, like, or the space station. Floors 5 through 10, sorry about this confusing sentence, but if you find a computer on floor 5, it will illuminate every freaking floor on that portion of the space station. Floors 5 through 10 will be illuminated. 11 is also illuminated, but there's a computer right in front of you when you spawn in that level. That's the only level, besides floor 30, that's not randomly generated. The power-ups are still randomly generated, and the power-up drops are random, but the enemies and the floor isn't randomly generated on floors 11 and 30. But yeah. And it repeats again. Like when you finish floor 11, floor 12 will start you in a dark room. And if you find the computer in that one, floors 12 through, I believe, 17 are illuminated. And then once you reach 18, it makes you do the same thing. Find the computer, and then floors 18 through 23 is illuminated again, or 22, not 23. 23 is another one where you gotta find a computer until the very last floor. But the last floor doesn't matter. You don't have to find a computer in that one at all, because yeah, it's the final floor. It's the very top of the space station. Spoiler alert if you haven't played this game, which I'm pretty sure you haven't, because it's a very obscure game. It's also exclusive to Saturn. I completely forgot to say that. It is exclusively a Saturn game. That is wild. But spoiler alert, if you haven't played this game, unless you don't really care, then, you know, fair enough. But spoiler alert. The ending of this game is crazy, because the whole mission was to blow the fucking space station up, like to get rid of the space station. By the way, if you play this game for the first time, there is a seizure warning, by the way, from me. Not the game. The game doesn't tell you, but from me, if you do decide to play this game throughout the whole thing, seizure warning, because on the final floor, and floor 11, because it does the same thing, but it's not as bad as floor 30. It will start flashing red at you when you start shooting at the cores. And oh my goodness. But eventually, if you have enough ammo and destroy the whole thing, the ending cutscene is crazy. The whole fucking space station explodes. Like there's like a spider thing on top of the space station. At the end of the credits, it comes right off of it and fucking explodes. The ending is crazy and is actually worth the time to put in that you put into this game. It's crazy. Which again, it's not a long game. Not a long game at all. Pretty good game right here. Really good. Now, this game is only worth about 10, 15 bucks, at least just disc. I think complete it's like 25, maybe 30. But I think it's worth it for that price. Even though Saturns right now are like what, 150, 200. But hey, you know, pretty good game. I give it my rating for this game, even though it's got its problems, they don't really... Oh, there's another thing I forgot to mention. The frame rate. It's not the greatest. However, you get used to it after the first 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes of the game. It's pretty consistent. It's a consistently low frame rate for the whole game, but it's not like unplayable. It's not unplayable. It's just a consistently somewhat low frame rate. I'd say it's like a 10 frame per second game, maybe 15 frames, maybe 20. Might be pushing a little bit too high with the frame rate there, but it's not unplayable. It is not an unplayable game. You get used to the frame rate. But beside all of the bad things I've said about this, which don't even kill the game's enjoyability for me, by the way, and all the fucking amazing things this game does, which, you know, the challenge factor, this game's like, I give it like, you know what's crazy? I might give this a 9 out of 10. Despite all the flaws, it makes up for decent, kind of fun gameplay. Pretty fun, actually. Not even kind of. Pretty fun gameplay. Apologies for this being all over the place, by the way. I apologize for that. But hey, what do you expect from me, alright? I ain't perfect. I'm only human after all. But yeah, pretty good game. 9 out of 10. Pretty good game. Man, that is another episode of Criticism wrapped up. Criticism Season 1, Episode 2. That's it. So, yeah, Robotica and Sega Saturn, pretty good game. If you want to, go check it out, but, you know, just letting y'all know that it exists. Obscure game, hidden gem. But, yeah. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like. Subscribe if you want to see more episodes. And, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace. Peace. Nah, for real. Peace out, and I'll see y'all probably on Christmas Day. So yeah, peace out, everyone.